Hi everybody, here's Christian. This is Pico-8 Hero, and we are still working on our Breakout tutorial, but we're getting there. We're almost there. As you can see, maybe something that you might have noticed, it's very easy to say, let's make a Breakout clone. It seems like such an easy thing to do, but here we are, episode 22 or so, and we're still working on this, and we haven't even gotten to the part where we start about, polishing graphics and stuff like that. We're still working on the gameplay stuff. And that's, I think, like a very important lesson generally, as I say as I load up our program. Game development in general is quite often about endurance, about actually being able to deliver on the things that you initially set out to do. Like, because it's very easy, because we are all, people who usually work on video games are people who are very excited about video games. And it's very easy to be like, really, oh, I'm gonna make the best game ever. It's gonna be like Skyrim, but with GTA, and it's gonna be multiplayer, and it's gonna be procedurally generated, and so forth. But actually following up on all those things, as you're developing, you realize, first of all, that it's actually way more complicated than you thought. And the second thing, you realize that it actually takes a lot of work. It starts becoming, you stop being this fanboy about your project, and you become like this jaded person where it's like, ugh, and you start, getting like those ideas of better projects you could be working on. And so it becomes very difficult to work on the project as it continues. And it's very important as a game developer to develop the discipline, to stick with projects, to continue working on them, so you can actually deliver them. Because when you actually then ship the project, when you actually finish a project, even if you just completed just 10% of the things that you wanted to do initially, that is the best feeling ever. You often realize that you didn't have to make this game as complicated as you thought, that even a simpler game would have been really nice. Cool. So today I want to go through some of these things here, to some of these power-ups, and I want to actually make them work. Some very obvious ones are things like the one-up, things like the sticky, and maybe expand and reduct. These are all three pretty easy to do. Speed down is also not difficult. We already had like the list last time around. Mega Ball is will take some time. Multi-ball is the one where we're probably gonna have at least like 1 or 2 episodes to make this work. Right. So, but first, maybe you have to think about some setup for, like, maybe we need some kind of variables here, because some of these things, especially like speed down, like these are things where we have to. This is something that continues. This is not something that you do once. This is not something like one up, where you pick it up once and it just happens and that's it. The speed down is something that continues, that we have to keep track of. Meaning we have to have a variable for this. So I'm going to create here a variable called Powerup. Not very creative, I have to admit. And that will just save which power-up we're currently having. And it's kind of like nice that we started out with 1, like our first power-up was 1. Because that means when it's 0, we don't have a power-up. Easy. I'm gonna also do like a power-up clock. I'm gonna call it powerup_t for time. So this kind of like takes clock on how many frames we already having a power-up. And this is for because maybe some power-ups are gonna be limited in time. This was not the case in the original Breakout. In the original Breakout, I think you kept a power-up until you picked another power-up. And I think we should keep that. I think this is good. I think they should not stack. I think that's that. I mean, it would be really crazy and fun, but you could also get sometimes really crazy broken combos. And I feel like this should be like a strategic choice, perhaps. It's kind of nice that you have an ability also to get rid of a power-up. For example, if you get the reduct power-up, it would be nice if you could be like, okay, now let's pick up another power up so we can get rid of this, because I don't want this. By the way, this guy is kind of nice, but let's delete him. So I like the idea of overwriting power ups when you pick up another power up. But I think, especially slow is one of those power ups where I think it would be nice to have like a timeout where it's like, okay, after 10 seconds. Let's speed up again. Yeah, so I want to maybe keep. Let's just see how it feels. I want to keep track of this. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna cut this out immediately, and I'm gonna put this in serve ball, because when we serve a ball, I think we should also reset the power-ups. So let's go with serve ball. There we go. Power up, there we go. Good. So let's go where we pick up a power up. Oh, wrong. So this is update. Update game, there we go. There we go. There's where we check for collision detections. Here's where we actually pick up a power up. And then I'm just gonna. I think power up is already a variable that we just defined, right? Let's go call it power up on. Power up fire. Power. I don't want to call it just power. That seems it's kind of a weird name. Let's go power up on, and then yeah, I'm redefining a new variable here. I'm struggling with how I'm going to call this, and then we're going to call this by the type of the power up. Right, like this. Power up on. Ah, I know. Power up get. That's good. That's a good name. Okay, I'm gonna cut this out here. I'm gonna paste it in here. Cool. And power up get is gonna be just one huge. It's gonna be kind of like hit brick here, where it's gonna be just one big if statement, just checking which kind of power up we're talking about. I'm gonna go like _p for power up. This is going to be the argument telling this function which power up we should activate. And then so if _p equals 1, then, and that's a slowdown. Else if _p equals 2, then, and so forth. So I'm going to copy this a couple of times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the last one. And good. So this is slowdown. Which one's the next one? This is life. The next one is catch. The next one is expand. And the next one is reduce. And then a mega ball. And then multi-ball. Good. So, you know, we will be a little bit repetitive here, but I think it's might be worthwhile because there's some like weird behaviors. For example, with the life, right? The life power up, it should not remember the life power up. I want the life power up to cancel previous power ups if they're currently going on. For example, like a slowdown, it should be canceled if you pick up a life power up, so it becomes more strategic. So it's like, I have this cool power up running right now, but there's also life. But if I get the life, the cool power up disappears. So it's kind of like, I like the situation that it creates. So I want the life to delete previous power ups, but I don't want, you know, the game to be like, oh, now the live power up is on. It's just something that happens once, and then, you know, it doesn't matter what else happens. So for the live power up equals 0. For the slowdown, power up equals 1. I also want to reset the time. Power up underscore t, I think that was the name, also equals 0. We don't really care about the clock, but we're gonna reset it anyway. I'm gonna just, for now, I'm just gonna type in all those power ups in here. For the catch, we definitely want to remember the catch is 3, and we want to reset the clock to 0. For expand, we want to remember the expand. We want to reset the clock to 0. For reduce, we also want to remember the reduce and reset the clock to 0. For mega ball, you know, this is not good programming, because if I were a good programmer, I would probably put the power up t, like the reset the clock, outside of the if statements, because you want it probably in every if statement, for every power up. But I think it might be worthwhile to just keep it here for now, and then maybe leave this up later for like when we do a pass where we optimize things. Okay, so far we have the different power-ups. So let's actually start thinking about actually doing something. What I wanted to do is I wanted to see where we save our lives, because I think this is where it might be worthwhile picking up the life. Where do we have lives? I'm looking at the draw function, because that's where we draw the okay, it's just called lives. Who would have thought? So for the life power up, we're just gonna go lives plus equals 1. We add 1 to lives. Easy peasy for breezy. So that's 1 power up down the line. Let's see if this works, because we added a lot of code. Maybe, you know, okay, this is expand. That's not something we want to deal with. There is no life in here. I'm gonna pick it up anyway. Now, usually we have to be watchful not to put a lot of the power up bricks next to each other, because as you can tell, that's kind of like weird when so many of them are appearing at the same time. When you pick up 2 at the same time, there's go live. Oh, I didn't pick it up. You stupid Christian. Oh, I didn't pick it up. Oh, I'm so stupid. Okay, let's try it again. If I were good, I'm gonna do one more time. If I don't see a life here, or if I don't pick it up, then I will actually modify the random number generator so more of them come up. So we have life 2 now. We get a lot of R's. Are you serious? Are we not gonna get live? Come on, give me. Okay, this is the last one. Whatever. I'm gonna manipulate the power random number generator. This is stupid. And I want those videos to be short, and this is something that cuts very deeply now. Okay, so I'm gonna put, what is the live power up? That is number 2. So underscore t. It's just it's supposed to be the simple test. There we go. Yeah, we're getting lives. Yeah, that's good. Good. Cool. So let's see. Let's do the sticky next. I like the sticky one. So we already remember if we get the catch. We remember it here. Another thing I wanted maybe to do here is I want to go to the update function, and I'm going to make sure that the clock is actually ticking for the power-ups. because I think for the let's draw, I want to update. There we go, update game. Because I think for when we think about catch, that's something that should definitely run out at some point. So if power up equals not equals, actually I don't think we have not equals in this, do we? Not equals 0, then so if the power ups, we don't want to count for the 0 power up, but otherwise I'm gonna add 1 to the clock. Actually, at some point we might actually count down. That might be actually an even better idea. Let's count down, and we're gonna say like if power up t equals 0, then and then power up equals 0. So we're gonna reset everything to 0 when actually let's say it's smaller than 0, even better. So smaller equals 0. So if it's 0 or smaller, if our countdown, our timer is smaller or equals 0, then we'll reset the power up to 0. And then so now here with the timer, we can actually set how long things are taking, how long the effects are. So for example, for the catch here, that's the next one that we want to do next. For the catch, let's say, so 1 frame is 60 frames, 1 second is 60 frames. Let's say we want to have it for 10 seconds, so that would be 600. So by the time when you pick it up, we reset the clock at 600, and we tick down every frame, and when it reaches 0, the power up disappears. Right, but now we have to actually make sure that the sticky works. So we have a sticky variable, but a sticky variable, if that's true, it actually resets the ball, I think, at the bottom. I think that's how it works. So what I want to do now is I want to see where we're checking if the ball hit a paddle. There we go. Ball hit a paddle on the top, whatever. Here it is. Oh man, that's a lot of code. Well, but whatever. We hit the ball. There's this sound effect. There's a chain, and yeah, here we can check for. So if power up equals 3 was the sticky, right? So if power up equals sticky power, or let's call it catch power up. So if this power up is equals 3, then and then else. Well, let's go end, because we do want to play this sound effect, and we do want to reset the chain for sure, but we want to set the sticky. So if the catch, so this is what happens when the ball hits the pedal. There's like deflections going on and stuff like that. But we also go like okay, and then sticky equals true. Let's see if this works. That's not the power up that we're looking for. There we go. There's oh. Okay, we have sticky now. Oh. But we picked up multiple power-ups, so it was reset, I think. Cruel irony. There was an L there as well, so we collided with an L as well, and that was the effect I was talking about. The L resets the power-ups. I might actually have to... I can't wait that long. I will actually reset it to manipulate our random number generator again. Got the sticky now. Okay, it worked. So I caught the ball. The only problem is the ball is always printed in the center. I kind of like that how you can see that the angle, it remembers the angle. So we cannot control the angle at which the ball is flying, but we can control the direction. So that's kind of nice. So this is working as intended. Oh, that's funny. Oh, nice. Everything is frozen. That's cool. We have to debug this in a second. That's so funny. Okay, so how does this work? It has to, I think, to do with how sticky works. Let's see. There we go. If sticky, yeah, because everything we do here, that is, you know, all the physics calculations are things that are part of the sticky. So we're gonna do the move the pills. We're gonna do the check of, oh, actually there's a lot of things that should be outside of this sticky. Yeah, there's a lot of here. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna take all of this stuff. Wait a minute. That's weird. Or is the return there? Okay, so this is the if for the sticky. It draws the ball and then else and then does a lot of things. Oh, that's weird. So this is a bit of a tedious situation where we have to reverse engineer all the if statements. I think the if statements there's something wrong with the if statements here. So I'm looking for a mistake here. If, else, and. And here. If, else, and. There should be another end, but there is none. Maybe I accidentally copied it. Is that true? Yeah, I copied it. So I pasted this in here. This is moving the power-ups. Ah, yes. Okay, I got it. I found it. I actually copied it. So yeah, I'm gonna put the end here. That's right. So now the check explosion happens always, and the moving of the because this is the end where the if statement all the way up here about the sticky. It's all the way up here. Where is it? Here. This is the if statement where it begins. It does just two things when sticky is true. And when it's false, all of this stuff happens. All of this stuff happens. All of this. All the way up and down here. And that's the end of this if statement. And then afterwards, we're going to check for explosions. That happens always. We're going to move the power-ups. I'm going to check if the level is finished and stuff like that. Good. And then we also want to count the power-ups. There's a problem. Compare a number with nil and 127. Let's see. Where's 127? Oh, that's quite odd. Ooh, that's weird. Oh, next Y. Oh, it's not 127, it's 368. Okay, got it. We broke something. Don't you worry about that. 368. Where is it? 368. Here. Ah, yes. Ah, yeah, right. So this is where the ball we check if the ball exited the level. I guess we don't need this outside of the if statement. The problem is that we define next x and next y within this huge if statement that we just had. And we just move this outside of that if statement, and that references next y and next x. And so, you know, you get situations where next I and next x are not defined yet because we haven't actually moved the ball because we're still in a sticky state. And it actually wants to see if the ball has left the screen. So, you know, okay, I'm fine. Let's put this back inside this huge if statement. Okay. Good. Okay, we are now catch. Still doesn't work. Huh. That's weird. That is indeed a very weird. Wait a minute. Ah, right. This is where we're moving the pills. We haven't actually moved the wrong part. I thought this was what moves the pills, but that's not what moves the pills. I'm gonna do some commentary so we don't have this problem again. This checks check if ball leaves screen. And I'm gonna comment it. This is end of sticky. If. Right, and this is going to be moving. This is the moment where you wish you had like a more elaborate and luxurious IDE, not just like this little window in Pico-8, because those things are easier to debug when you have a little bit more information about what closes where and stuff like that. But we're fine. We did some really good indenting here, so it's kind of easy to see where things end and begin. Cool. Now it worked. Yes. Okay, now it worked. So we can have sticky, we can pick up things, and we can keep the ball on the paddle. It would be nice to see the clock for the power up. So let's go here and debug equals power up t. Like this. So this is the clock ticking for the power up. Of course, we pick more power ups, the clock resets. I want to make sure that the power up actually. So if we keep the ball and the power up runs out, of course we still keep the ball, and that thing that's fair. It would be kind of weird if the ball, yeah, and then now it's no longer sticky because now the power up is at 0. It seems like 10 seconds is also kind of like a fine number. Maybe a bit more. Maybe like 15 would be better. So let's go with 15. So that's like 900, right? Good. So far, so good. So I already realized that it would be nice to have some kind of feedback, some kind of interface feedback for what kind of power up is currently on. Like you want to be like, okay, I picked up something. What does it do? We know it, but the player won't know it. So it would be nice if like there was like a little like text coming up, like da, 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 1 up or da, 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 sticky or something, you know. And it would be also nice if there was like a percentage bar. Like if there is like something that runs out, there would be maybe like a clock or something ticking down, so you know exactly that you know you are about to run, like the power is about to run out. But I think that's something that comes up in the next episode. I think we implemented 2 power ups now. Let's see which one we implemented. So we implemented 1 up. That's good. We implemented sticky. There was a nasty bug that we had to really get rid of. That's why it took a little bit more longer. So the next one I probably want to do is not sure if speed down or expand and reduct. Expand and reduct we're going to do together. So maybe this one's, then mega ball and speed up and speed down, and then finally we're going to do multi ball. But yeah, that's something that comes up in the next episode. See you next time around, guys. Bye bye.